Alright guys, so we just got out here on Lake of the Pines. This is my last day out here, and my goal today is a 2.5 pound fish. I've got close, I don't know, 6 or 7 times now with 2 2s. I had 1 2 3, but want to break that 2.5 pound mark, and I know it can be done today. I just got to get right in front of the right fish. So I'm gonna take what I learned yesterday from Charlie and put it to use out here this morning. This morning we've got wind, which I think is going to help me. Yesterday it was dead calm, and you know, running this live scope, you're sharp shooting these fish. You're pinpointing single fish, and you know, that boat moves around a lot more with no wind, dead calm. But today we've got a little bit of a breeze, so that way you can face that boat into the breeze, and you don't necessarily run over the fish. So I think that's going to be to my advantage. Like I said, with this live scope, boat control is key. And I'd like to talk a little bit more about that today, but you guys kind of get the picture. Hopefully the GoPro is kind of showing what the live scope is seeing, as well as you guys setting the hook. So anyway, I'll just kind of go over my setup here, because I haven't really talked a lot about that. So this is my setup here. I've got the live scope up front. I've got the transducer on the trolling motor shaft, and that's how I prefer it. I also built, I don't have it set up on the bow or on the side of the boat right now, but I also have a second transducer. Not everybody's going to be able to do that or want that, but my thing is, the way my trolling motor's set up, whenever it's real windy, it's very hard to spot lock with the trolling motor and get that view, because the trolling motor's constantly wobbling back and forth. So with the secondary transducer on the pole, I can still kind of zoom in on those fish while the boat's at spot lock. That being said, I started out with it on the trolling motor. I personally feel you're more accurate. You can do a little bit more with the transducer on the trolling motor. So that's how I've got it set. We're running a 1222 non-touch screen for the live scope. And this is the one with the knobs. You can see I can zoom in and out just quick like that. I prefer this over the touch screen simply because I fish a lot in the winter, and touch screen do not do well with gloves or in the winter, or you're constantly touching them and smudging them and everything else. So that's why I went with the 1222. It's about the cheapest. It is the cheapest version you can get in a 12-inch screen. We've got the Helix 12 below that, running side scan and mapping. So pretty legit setup I've got here. And what we're doing today is we're out here targeting these big white crappie on vertical standing timber. And we're going to sharpshoot them basically. We're going to drive around with the trolling motor until we see one or two fish on a tree, and then we're going to throw at them. So I've got 2 rigs set up here. I'll show you these. So this is a 12-foot ACC crappie stick. This is what I caught all my fish on yesterday, never changed. I've got an 1/8 ounce jig on the bottom, and about a foot up, I've got a 1/16 ounce jig, and we're pitching out to them just a small Fluger President reel, just a real light setup. Very nice rod. Like I said, you guys have seen, we chucked in multiple 2-pound fish yesterday, so that's kind of what Andy designed this rod for, was slinging the fish in. That way you don't have to basically get the net every time and take the chance of that fish getting off. So the other setup I've got here is, this is kind of a pitching setup. And what this is, I've got a 1/2 ounce egg sinker up high, dropping down to a jig. And a lot of times these fish will suspend out in open water, and you got to get down to them super quick. And that 1/2 ounce egg sinker, it drops that jig like a rocket, and you can still put them in front of the fish. So below that, and this is kind of something that I've came up with through my white bass fishing, but a lot of guys will just run straight braid down to it. And what happens is, whenever you're pitching that jig, the jig will get all twisted up. So I run 60-pound mono down to that, and that big stiff mono with all that memory, it doesn't let your jig twist up so bad. So that's pretty much the setup. I've got a lot of rods in this boat, and I've really only used the 1 green ACC on this trip. It's done everything I've needed it to do. I've pitched to a few open water fish with this other setup here. This is on a 13-foot Jinko rod as well, but for whatever that's worth. But definitely the ACCs, they say they were built for Lake of the Pines 2-pound fish, and I attest to that. So anyway, guys, that's enough rambling, that's enough talking. Like I said, we've got this good wind, so hopefully it'll make boat control a little bit more easy today. With this live scope, boat control is so key. So anyway, get out here and we're gonna find some of the standing timber. Hopefully there'll be some big fish on it. We'll set you up on the GoPro again. I think that's about the best way to do this. That way you guys can see the screen as well as the hook sets. And we're gonna catch a fish. My last day, we're gonna break 2.5 pounds. Oh man. Well guys, first fish of the day and I wasn't recording. Figures. Sniped him. About 17 feet of water. Look at that nice fish. Man, they're just so healthy. These giant, look at the mouth on them things, man. That's yesterday, by the way. The smallest fish on there is 1/8. $1.89. Can you guys see that? 1.89. Giant fish. Let him go back. This one's got to go 2.3, maybe 2.4. Let's see. Oh, he's heavy. He's heavy. Look at it, guys. Look at it. Second fish of the day. 2.5. Let's see what he goes away. He keeps going back and forth. 2.64, guys. We're gonna call it 2.64. $2.64, guys. I'm gonna measure that fish for you. It's my biggest open water crappie. 16-inch fish right there, guys. 16-inch fish. Look at that. Man, it's just awesome. There he is, guys. We can still snipe them in these big waves. Woo! Check out that fish. Wow, that was work. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Ooh, I tell you what, guys, the wind is brutal today. It's not stopping them giants from biting. Wow. If you can put your bait in front of them, they will bite. Man. Just right there off that little tree. I seen them in the live scope. It took me about 5 minutes to get turned around, but woo. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, come on, B2. 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 There he is, 2. It's 2. That's gonna call out a 187. That's amazing, guys. Bam. 14-inch fish, something like that. 15-inch fish. Look at that. It's crazy. Crazy. Said I wanted a little wind. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah. Yeah, baby. This is gonna be good, guys. This is gonna be good. Look at all the fishes. Look at all the fishes. Yeah. It's only 1.5 pounds. We're not gonna weigh him. That's not a giant. One right after another, after another. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Had to work for that fish. Yeah. I see. There it is. Good deal. Haha. Worth it. Worth it. Woo! Yeah, baby. I had to work for that fish, guys. You see how windy it is out here? If you can even hear me. Wow. Worth it. Totally worth it. Let's see what he weighs. 1.7. Come on, I keep getting a 2-pound reading. I'm gonna call him 202. It's locked in, baby. 202. So many 2-pounders. Every fish 2 pounds. Man, look at that. Look at it. Woo. Release him away, buddy. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Woo! Look at that. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. He's not hooked great. Let me get it down and lip that fish. Yeah. Look at that fish. Woo! This is not 30 seconds after I caught that other one. I moved over. Ooh, that could be my big one. That could be my big one, guys. Look at the mouth on that thing. Wow. Look, the scale didn't even turn off. That fish could be over 264. Let's weigh him. Two, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. That's 8 fish over 2 pounds on the scale, guys. Look at them fish, guys. That fish is just not full of eggs. It's bigger, I think, than that 264 I had earlier. That's a 16-inch crappie, guys. 16 and a quarter, actually. Just a giant fish. Look at the size of them things. They're comical. They're comically big, guys, compared to what I'm used to. Wow. Just giant.